that's the end of the year. The school year is done, summer is here, and I've been able to relax. It's been a long year. We've been inspected, there's been all sorts of changes in the school, but we're at the end of the year. Hard-earned year. The children that I've taught have done amazingly well, but it's now time for the summer. And in just over a week, I'm off traveling again for the summer, which I will take everybody on. I'm going to take videos and put content out because it's going to be fun. It's going to be an amazing summer. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about an exciting new opportunity for the new year. And that is that I have recently been promoted to the head of department of science, which is an exciting opportunity for me. It's going to come with its challenges. It's going to come with its ups and its downs, no doubt. There's going to be a lot of work to do, but it is an exciting opportunity and I cannot wait to get started. So in this video, I'm basically going to talk through my process of getting the position, of applying for it, of the interview, and the work I've already done and the work that I'm going to continue to do. And hopefully this video might help if you two are planning on going for this kind of position. My experience has been a positive one, and hopefully my experience can help you. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So first of all, to give you a bit of background, thus far, these positions have not been available in the junior school where I work. Since I've been at the school, we've had steering groups, which effectively kind of act as a head of department, I guess, where small groups of teachers from across the school come together once every few weeks to discuss the subject, to share books, and to really push the subject forward. And the steering groups have had mixed success, in my opinion. But as of the start of the new year, we've had a changeover of management, and there's been a real push for a head of department to really lead on subjects and hopefully see more progression within each subject area. And the head of science was one of those roles that came up, and I felt like it was a fantastic opportunity for me, and so I applied for it. The reason I chose science over English, over maths, and the other opportunities that were presented is because that's what my background is. I wanted to play to my strengths. It is an area that I really love teaching. I love teaching science in junior school, but again, it's my background. I studied animal science at university. I did a postgraduate degree in conservation, and I spent 2 years prior to becoming a teacher working in the field. You know, I worked at a bird of prey centre where I flew birds on demonstration. I went on school visits. I did guided tours around the centre. So this is an area that I feel very confident in, and I've got some strong opinions about how science should be run and taught within the school. And so I very much led with my strong foot forward, my best foot forward, whatever the saying is. And I kind of put all of my eggs in one basket and really wanted to hone in on something that I felt passionate about. And it paid off. So the first thing that I obviously did, and that's the same with every job, is I looked at the job specs. A full job spec came out, and it was no different to any normal job spec. They wanted someone who was passionate about their specific subject, that had a proven track record or could at least state things that they've done, teaching techniques that they've implemented, evidence of success within that subject area. They wanted someone who was organised and could clearly outline the areas that they would like to improve or work upon. And ultimately, they want someone that is going to really carry and push the subject forward for the coming years. And within my cover letter, I tried my best to evidence all those things. I spoke about my past and my degree. I spoke about how that impacts on my subject knowledge. I spoke about key things I've done this year and in previous years, the teaching of science, how I've assessed it, and I really clearly outlined what my views were for science going forward, where I felt the school could improve, the areas of strength currently, and where I would like to take the science department going forward. And I was then able to refer to that in my interview. And my interview was a success, obviously, because I got the position. So, yeah, I had to put a covering letter and I sent my CV as well, just an updated version. Now, because I'm already a colleague of the school, I'm already a teacher, I obviously know the ins and outs of the junior school. I have a good understanding of the context of the school, of how science is currently taught, how it's currently assessed. And so I kind of use that to my advantage. Now, obviously, if you're applying for a position and you're in a school that you've never worked in before, then you might take a different tact and you would sort of hone more in on what you view where you view the subject should go. Now, obviously for me, I didn't have that because I already know, so I was able to reference specific examples and I was able to talk about key things that we do in junior school, but that was just a benefit of already working in the school. So I spoke a little bit about curriculum, how I wanted to make sure that the whole school was aligned so that key topics were taught frequently, so that when their children are assessed both with the progress tests that the children do out here, as well as with internal assessments, that their key areas have been covered and that there aren't areas that have been missing or lacking, or some areas that have been taught more than others. Obviously assessment was a key part of that, so teachers have a better understanding of where their children are at throughout the year. And obviously I really wanted to hone in on my views on teaching science, which is practical investigations, and merely making sure that by the time that children leave the junior school and go into the secondary school, that they are competent, or at least have been exposed to full scientific inquiry and investigation. And again, I was able to support all of those ideas with examples, and I think that came off well. Now, in the interview itself, and I always like to do this, I've done this with every sort of interview I've done, is I like to talk about examples, obviously, but also how I have assessed that. Areas that I feel that I could have done better, areas that I have seen have progressed, and spoken about examples and what I feel I could do to improve the junior school as a whole. Again, as I said just now, a real key thing is about practical investigation. That was a real area of focus for me. And within the context of our school and the fact that we're in Al-Ain, English as an additional language is a real key area. Naturally, out here there are a lot of native Arabic speakers, and really encouraging and promoting good vocabulary, use of strong English is something that the whole college, and in fact every school out here, tries their best to promote. And so I really honed in on that and spoke about how science can be cross-curricular, developing English, also incorporating maths. I tried to pick on all those key areas that I'd really like to focus on. And yeah, after the interview, I got some feedback and it was very positive. By all accounts, I came across very passionate and strongly about it. So it worked out quite well. Now, obviously, you have to judge the areas that you're going to pick up on and talk about depending on the school and the job application and stuff like that. But those are the key things I focused on, and it went in my favour, which was great. So yeah, shortly after the interview, I was offered the job, which I gladly accepted. And after a few negotiations about contracts and things like that, I kind of got the ball rolling and made a start straight away. I'm very much kind of get things going, be organised, make sure that come September I've got a plan of action. And so already I had about a week of organisation. Already I've met with the head of department for the secondary to talk about what they do over in secondary. And because there is a transition from primary into secondary, I wanted to be really clear on what they would expect from pupils coming up. How would they like those pupils to interact within science? What kind of skills would they like them to be more developed within, and things like that. So I've already had that, which was great, got some good advice there. And then I kind of set an action plan in place. Don't want to jump in feet first. And the reason being is because this role needs to be collaborative. This was something that was made very clear in the interview. There's been further communication about that as well from sort of the leadership team. Is as a head of department, I've got lots of different year group teams to work with. And I'm very mindful of wanting to come in and disrupt those teams when there's been a lot of work on curriculum, there's been a lot of work within their relevant year groups. So I've made contact with all the heads of years. I've met with a couple of them to speak about my view and my vision. I've put a few ideas across which have been responded well. And ultimately it's trying to make sure it's collaborative, because I can't make loads of changes and expect it to just happen, because they work within teams. I'm obviously a member of the Year 4 team, so I know what that's like. And so making sure that they know that I am there for the betterment of the subject, and to just make sure that everyone feels well supported and provide training where appropriate and things like that is kind of my tact. So I've made contact. So far I've had some good response, and at the start of the new year my approach will be to meet with all the teams to talk through my ideas, to introduce a few of the ideas that I've got, and see how it goes, and have those positive, open, professional conversations. So yeah, that's what I've done so far. So realistically, the job properly kickstarts at the beginning of the new year. So I very much made a head start so that I am on the right footing when it comes to September. But I'm going to leave it over the summer. I'm going to have my well-deserved rest, and I'm going to kick things off in the summer. And I will give an update as to how the first few weeks have gone, the first term has gone, areas that I felt have gone well, areas that I could potentially improve upon. So I will probably put out another video soon. But that was my update. It's exciting. I'm looking forward to the new year. But for now, as I've already said, it is the summer and I'm going to relax. Now, I've got a couple more videos coming out before the end of this week, hopefully, about packing for the summer. And I've got another video coming out that is about sort of the healthcare out here. And I've injured my knee, unfortunately. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience of dealing with that. But for now, I will see you in the next video. I'm going to go and get myself a coffee because it's early and I need a coffee. See you in the next one. Peace out. Bye.